Hi guys, so this is a new game I found. It is called Pets Go New. As you can see, that's what the game profile picture looks like, and it's a game by Big Games, which, if you don't know who they are, they're the people that created Pet Simulator X, which is a game I have uploaded on the channel before, not that much though, which I could potentially show it again. And then they also have created Pet Sim 99, which is the newer version of Pet Sim X, which personally I think Pet Sim 99 is a downgrade to Pet Sim X, because just in general I just don't really like it. You know, I prefer the Pet Sim X concept, to be honest. The only thing I don't really like about it is the diamond mine, which makes all the pets and stuff massively increased in price, which, you know, for example, a relatively cheap huge, which if you've got, for example, 100 billion gems, which you can use to buy pets off people, you could easily get into the pro servers with it by getting one of the cheapest ones. But that one, which is the huge Hellrock normal, went from like 8 bill to like 15-20 billion, you know, because of diamond mine. Because, you know, people use glitches and hacks to gain billions of gems really easy, which obviously resulted in all the prices absolutely skyrocketing because of those people that have got like trillions of gems from it, you know. So yeah, and kind of just, you know, and then one thing about it is you roll the pets, right? When you start off, you won't have, so when you first start, you will roll the pets quite slow, and you have to manually roll it yourself. When you get a certain amount, you can upgrade it to auto roll, which is a slow one, which I'm going to show you. So yeah, there we go, auto roll. And then yeah, there's quite a lot of upgrades, to be fair, you can do. And then you can also hide it so it shows up there, so it doesn't take up as much of your screen as, you know. And obviously there's different pets, and that's my best roll so far, and that's, as you can see, that's the amount of rolls I've done. As you can see, 10 million best roll, 92,000 rolls, 8 million best roll, 78,000 rolls, you know. It's kind of quite, it's a short game, which is like not too much gambling, it's just a bit, it's not the easiest to get good on, right? Because you've got to sit there for hours just rolling and rolling. And yeah, that's essentially what you're going to do. So luckier, I can now upgrade it. This. And then that's 75k pet bounty. So I should have better luck now. I'm going to give it a chance, though. And as you can see there, it's definitely better because I struggled to get a better roll for ages and for like 2 hours straight, right? And after the first few rolls, I beat it. So that proves it's better. As you can see, I am the lowest in the server. That's because I did join the server quite late, to be fair. I don't know how long ago this game released, but it didn't release too long ago because it still says new. But, you know, because it's not too difficult, right? It's not mega hard or anything like that. It's just kind of like, once you've got the past a bit, you're a beginner, right? It's kind of like, essentially, you've just got to remember that there's different eggs that you use, and the more expensive the egg is to buy, the better the pets are. So I'm assuming that if I go on to the upgrades luckier, there's another one there and 2 more there. So I'm assuming the people that have got like 10 million have got either that one or one of those 2. So yeah, I don't think they would have any of these. I think one of them could get you to 1 million or maybe like 500k, but not 10 million. So as you can see, I've got a load of different pets, and it's just like I wish there was a way I could get rid of them. Like I could fuse a bunch of them for like better pets, if you know what I mean. So let's have a look. So I'm just going to show you, right, for about 20 seconds, right? So without the hide thing, this is what it looks like. This would be what Aura would look like. Which, you know, it's essentially a randomised thing, which things like this is going to take loads of devs, right? A game like this, I can tell by what it is, right? It is going to take loads. It is going to be a very expensive game to make. If you want it professionally done, you're going to have to spend hundreds of thousands of Robux to pay them, you know? Because you're going to have to code the bit where it says 1 in whatever number and the pet name, and then essentially just code it so with a certain egg you can have any one of a certain pet, you know, and it's just down to luck really. So yeah, and then with the hide roll it looks like this. So yeah. And obviously there's a trading plaza, but here's the shop, right? Which, to be honest, these are just mega expensive, right? You know, ultra luck for 800. I get it's ultra luck, but it should be 500 maximum. That should be 150 maximum, in my opinion. It's my opinion, alright? And then this should be like 250 max. That should be like 2000 max. That should be about 50, maybe 100 max. So that's not mega overpriced. That maybe about 250, 300. That about 600 or something. And then, you know. But then at the same time, you've got to think, do a baseline. Let's say they get, for example, one of these every week. No, they get 5 of these sold every week. And then 400 of these brought every day. 200 of these brought every day. 100 of these brought every day, for example. They've got to do the maths and think, alright, with tax, how much do we make? Yeah? So, for example, right, 125, so 500, right? For example, Alexa, what is 125 times 500?
125 times 500 is 62,500.
Alexa, what is 70% of 65,200?
70% of 65,200 is 45,640.
Actually, no, that's wrong. Alexa, what is 70% of
70%
Alexa,
of
off. Alexa, what is 70% of 62,500? Alexa, what is 70% of 62,500?
70% of 62,500 is 43,750.
So yeah, instead of them getting the full 62,500, they're only getting about 42k Robux from that, just from that, for example, right? So you've got to think, if they're paying each for, I don't know, let's say for every update roughly, for let's say for every pet, right, as a baseline, they will pay, because there's so many pets, right, it's obvious it's going to be charged less. So let's say they charge 15 Robux per pet, right, to make a pet, and they need, and one devs does 30 pets, right? Let's say they charge 5 Robux for 30 pets. Essentially, that would be, let me think, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 85, 90, 95, 100, 105, 110, 115, 120, 125, 130, 135, 140, 150, 165, no, 160, 165 Robux for 30 pets. That's just for the pets, but for all the scripting on it, they will pay an additional 2k. That is about almost 2.3k Robux, right? And let's say there's essentially 200 pets that need done, right? So they pay lots of devs to do 50 pets each. That is going to be like at least 5k Robux, roughly, I would say, or 3k Robux at least, right? And then when you think about it, after, but let's say that is without tax, right? And they actually want to charge 3k, they're going to have to do the maths and work out how much Robux they actually have to pay, so they get after the, so for example, right, if they were in please donate and they went up to their dev stand and donated 5k, for example, would the 70% tax give them 3k pending Robux, or will it be less? If it's less, then we're not going to do another donation and more donations until they get enough. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, if it's something like a simulator game where you, for example, click to gain speed and stuff, right? And then essentially like a shortened version of a race clicker game. There's a race clicker game where there's some pets in a egg, which is kind of like pets which are more expensive to get, right? Because there's less of them and they're harder. They're around the same sort of thing to get. But what it is, you gain more money than normal in each race, right? So you gain maybe about, for example, I'm pretty sure at ARC 1, you gain about 1k, maybe 2k in the lowest world for the best one. So in this game you would gain 3k money, for example. That's 2k extra, so it makes sense for the eggs to be more expensive. And essentially you can do upgrades to make it auto. And then there's a one you can get maybe for relatively cheap, a faster one as well, which is an auto click thing, which you click and you gain speed. Yeah, and essentially it's just a few pets which are more expensive to get because they're more OP as well. And there's a few other things like trading and trading plaza, right? But that is not going to be too much work at all. It's not going to be like cheap, but you know, if you want to get it done by a professional that knows how to do that, you're going to have to pay in Robux. But if you want to do it yourself, you've just got to do some tutorials, learn how to do it, and then, you know, there might even be some YouTubers that might be willing to do the work as a volunteer, right? But, you know, they do want their work to be like shown in the game, like so there's credits in the game, right? So people know it's a YouTuber that did the work, but someone else had the idea for the game, right? And, you know, and you have to agree to do that before they do the work. You know, I would gladly do that, right? If I knew how to do it, I would just simply do it myself when they're offline. Make sure not to overwrite anything. So then there's, for example, right, there's a, while you're loading in, right, there might be a loading screen that shows the credits of what they've done and what they've added, right? That's what I mean by credits. So they see, when someone joins a game, for example, they see, oh, I recognise that YouTube, he is involved in this game, according to this credit log, you know? You know, I know Preston, which is the owner of Big Games, if, for example, his name as a dev was seen in some of my games, I think my games would get pretty popular. Or another, oh yeah, I don't really want to cause any problems, but what about Poinball? Yeah. I think my games would be quite popular as well, because hence Poinball is the owner of ARC1, Anime Racing Clicker 1 and Anime Racing Clicker 2. I don't know if this is a joke or not, but a couple months ago, something happened. Someone said they are a dev for Poinball, and ARC3 is underway. It is probably a joke, but they said it would be ready in about November, so I don't know. Guys, I can't check on Twitter, right? Because guess what? Poinball blocked me for no apparent reason, right? Breakables, I'm just gonna... So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and show you not a Pet Sim X now, just to make it still known. As you can see, this is the old Pet Simulator game. This is not being updated. Play the new Pet Simulator 99. I was surprisingly there's 4.1k players, but you know, I'm kind of curious, right? Now Pet Sim 99 has been out for quite a long time, so you know, it's kind of like, yeah, I was curious, but way more players on Pet Sim 99 than Pet Sim X, which is obviously fair enough, you know, but I'm surprised there's 4.1k players. I thought there would be 1k players absolute maximum pushing it, but yeah, there's some people with things, and then this as well, I suppose. As you can see, I've got that, which is worth 3.36 billion, but now I kind of regret it, to be fair, because there was this, but I kind of really regret it. I just do now. I wish there was a way I could retransfer it, you know, but then I suppose, oh yeah, that was my bank account, which, you know, you know what, I mean, I'm feeling nice, mate, so if he doesn't ready up, I'll just cancel. So yeah, essentially got a teleport button, so let me just teleport somewhere. As you can see, oh yeah, as you can see, there's quite a lot of walls. As you can see, there are a whole bunch of walls. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, there's 10, like, there's like, I'm gonna call it 10 chapters, but there's like at least 70 different worlds, as you can see. Before, that's not really a chapter, that's just something where some of the worlds are. So as you can see, these have got less worlds, as you can see. So, and a problem with the game, right, is the fact that, you know, the worlds kept getting near enough impossible to, you know, break and stuff, because what was happening is, you know, how can I explain it? The worlds and all the breakables and stuff were getting so much harder to break, but the pets were just not even at all, right? If I go to the best world, you see what I mean, right? Dog world, dog park, right? I don't know how good my pets are, but these are starting to get better. They're not, there's like 300 pets, but it's not that much, right? As you can see, look, you know, this just takes absolutely ages to break. It will take eternity. I mean, even this takes quite a long time, to be fair, to break. So, yeah. So, yeah, there's kind of an issue that is there, but they don't really care about this game anymore. Quite, you know, it's depressing in a way, because it was a good game, but they just decided to move on, or which, if it which fair enough, right? After a certain amount of time, devs are gonna want to make a new game because they're gonna already know that that game's just not popular now, and there's not really anything that can be done because it happens, you know. So I might have a race clicker game, right? Let's say in 3 months from now it's fully done, right? And then 2 years is after it's fully released, right? And I start getting a lot of players, it goes well. 2 years after that, or a year and a half after that, for example, it completely dies out. And there's no one's really that active in the Discord. No one's really putting any suggestions for the game. There might be the occasional suggestion, but not that many people really. For example, right? It's kind of like you've just got to remember that. You've just got to accept that it's moved on, and that, you know, So yeah, sorry guys, I was doing something here and please donate, as you can see. So yeah, anyway, and you guys, peace out and bye.